All right, y'all. So we got 2 and 1. I'm trying not to spend too much time on each one so I could fit both of them in decently. I want to see what the points are. But Russell Wilson roast Sean Payton. Acho and James Jones react. One thumbnail says Sean Payton is classless, and then one says Sean Payton is a liar. So I want to get the first part of the story, and then we're going to go to the second part.
Beginning of this show, we got to talk about Russell Wilson.
Didn't Payton say he was talking about dart, which makes it look worse?
It's been crazy. First and foremost, Sean Payton had media availability. And
I don't know anything about that.
To throw.
Y'all turn your volume up.
I'll let you guys
turn
take a listen.
your volume up.
I have a ton of respect for that organization. I spent 4 of my early years there, coordinating Super Bowl, first game in this stadium before 9/11. Close with the mayor, Tisch family, and you know they found a little spark with that quarterback. I was talking to John Mayer not too long ago, and I said we were hoping that change would have happened long after our game. I have a ton of respect.
Hold on. I think I'm missing.
With the mayor, Tisch family, first game in this stadium before 9/11. Close with the mayor, Tisch family, and you know they found a little spark with that quarterback. I was talking to John Mayer not too long ago, and I said we were hoping that change would have happened long after our game.
So he was Russell Wilson was still playing versus the Giants. Well, versus the Broncos instead of Jackson Dart. That's what he's saying. What was he asked? What was the question that he was asked in order to get the urge to want to bring up Russell Wilson? Or even make that statement? Kind of odd. Head coach Sean Payton says he saw Russell Wilson's tweet about him and understands why Wilson felt that way, but clarified that his comments were strictly about Jackson Dart and not meant as a low blow towards Russ. Okay. So he's wishing, but it's still a low blow. You don't even got to say that. You did not have to say that. Classless, but not surprised. Didn't realize you're still bounty hunting 15 plus years later. Through the media. Let's ride.
Look, and the euphoria, the way that game unfolded, that was strictly about Dart. I mean, and I that was in no way, shape, or form anything that was.
Bro, that's a dig, bro. That's a dig.
Directed at Russ. So,
anyways, let me hear them out.
I have a ton of respect.
Saying that essentially Sean saying that he was hoping that change would happen because he wanted.
You don't have to say he's not dumb. You didn't have to say that.
Wanted to play against Russ, thinking that Russ was sweet. Also, I don't know. Yeah, no, we got to see what Russ said.
What did Russ
said?
Say?
Classless, but not surprised.
Woo!
Didn't realize you're still bounty hunting 15 plus years later, though, through the media.
Hey, round of applause. Everybody stop what you're doing.
Get it,
You
Russ.
stop what you're doing right now back there and you clap. And you clap for this. You clap
Crazy.
for this.
Russ clapping back, man. What's y'all's take on this? Do y'all love the Russ clap back? Do you think it was petty? What do you think?
Sound off, brother.
Russ, I am so proud of you for finally taking the low road. Because every now and then, bruh, Jesus loved a lot of people, but he flipped some tables too. And I like flipping table Russell Wilson. Sean Payton been trying Russell Wilson since the day he met Russell Wilson when he said, and I quote, "Russ, you need to stop kissing all those babies." Russell Wilson added 26 touchdowns to 8 interceptions his last year in Denver with Sean Payton. Sean Payton said he wanted to bench Russell Wilson because of bad performance. That was a lie. Sean Payton wanted Russell Wilson to remove the injury guarantee in his contract just in case Russell Wilson went onto the field and and got hurt. Do your research, fact check me, in case Russell Wilson went onto the field and got hurt, so that the Denver Broncos would not owe Russell Wilson any more money in case he had a career-threatening injury. And Russell Wilson never revealed the secret that that's what the Denver Broncos organization was up to. Sean Payton wants to go to the podium now that Sean Payton has moved on to greener pastures and Russell Wilson has moved on to greener pastures, and Sean Payton still wants to throw shade, but because Russell Wilson is a kind man, Sean Payton thought Russell Wilson wasn't going to snap back. I love this Russell Wilson. Yeah. Finally, he found the off-ramp and found the low road. He's been on the high road. I'm tired of high road Russell Wilson. And it's not to say that Russell Wilson isn't kind, but sometimes Russell Wilson, you got to let them know stop trying you. Legion of Boom has tried Russell Wilson. Pete Carroll has tried Russell Wilson. Richard Sherman, Doug Baldwin, Marshawn Lynch have all tried Russell Wilson. Russ, remind everybody the Seahawks were sorry before you. Remind everybody the Seahawks were sorry up until this year after you. Pete Carroll didn't win nothing without Russell Wilson.
True.
I don't know if they were sorry. They were still competitive. But I think what was bigger than Russ was that defense. Because, I mean, Russ was still there after that defense left, and they didn't go back to another Super Bowl. But they was a competitive squad. I mean, I think we got to be fair here. I think with Geno, they were still a competitive squad. I don't know what the win total's looking like or the playoff record looking like, you know what I mean? But, I mean, if you made it to the playoffs for Geno and you made it to the playoffs for Russ and there's no Legion of Boom, then I think, you know, you're still a competitive squad. So, but, yeah, I think that defense gets a lot of credit. Like, that's hard to build, an elite defense, because, I mean, you need a good defense to win a Super Bowl. You need a good defense to even get to a Super Bowl. So
DBs was still there. He ain't win none without Russell Wilson. 7-9 record, 7-9 record. Look it up. Don't fact check me. Don't just take my word. Russell Wilson helped the Seahawks go to 2 Super Bowls and win 1. And Pete Carroll ain't won a gosh darn thing without Russell Wilson. And Sean Payton, you still waiting on you to win some games. Let me remind everybody, Sean Payton showed up in Denver.
I did say when Russ was in Denver, he was good. You know, I whatever was going on that first year, I don't recall. I'd have to go back and look at whatever I was saying at that point in time, whatever the narrative was. But I could have sworn he was playing good in Denver, at least that second year. But it is what it is.
And his defense gave up 70 points. Hello, Sean Payton, can you coach? Because you was over here trying to bench Russell Wilson, and your team was sorry. 70 points in a game to the Miami Dolphins?
Yeah.
70 points in an NFL game? Russell Wilson beat the Kansas City Chiefs in Denver for the first time since 2015. It was 2023. And you want to bench him after that and try to suggest that Russell Wilson can't play the quarterback position? No. Russ, you got to start checking these folk, and I'm glad you started checking these folk. But Russ, this just the beginning. And don't worry, you got some soldiers behind you. Because if you want other people to shoot at Sean Payton, I'm right there with you, bruh. I'm right there with you. I defend Russell Wilson the person. Too many people come at Russell Wilson the person. Does Russell Wilson struggle on the field at times? Duh. Several people do. Is Russell Wilson still a Hall of Famer? I would also suggest duh. He had a 10-year illustrious career, and the last 4 he's been trying to figure it out. But Sean Payton, for what, bro? Yeah. For what? Yeah. For what? Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, that's well said right there. But I'm proud of Russ.
Thank you.
Because for me, it takes a lot to get me mad. But when you do get me there, move out the way, Care Bear. Don't hold me back. Jay is cool, none of that. I done already took all the other stuff on the chin and I done let it go.
Yeah.
This is it. I'm not even playing and you taking shots at me basically saying I'm soft.
Yep.
Because that's what you was calling me when I was there.
Yep.
Now you taking shots at me basically saying I'm sorry, and I'm not as good as a first-year rookie quarterback. We was hoping it happened. After us, we wanted to play Russell Wilson because we don't think he's that good. That's basically what you're saying. So this is the kind of response you're going to get from me.
Yeah.
And I applaud Russ for coming at him like that and saying that. I would have came at him a long time ago for disrespecting me like that, not even as a football player, as a man.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that's what Sean Payton is doing.
Yeah.
Obviously, you want something. So if you want to
Okay. They go on for a little minute about this. I want to hear what the point of the second video is. Sean Payton is a liar.
Broncos head coach Sean Payton had more to say. He had immediate availability.
Okay, so this is them responding to him trying to defend it. Okay, cool.
After going at it with Russ, let's go ahead and take a listen to what he had to say.
I did. Look, in the euphoria, the way that game unfolded, that was strictly about Dart. I mean,
now I say this, I can see how it was about Dart, but you have to understand, like if those comments were made directly after the game, because the Broncos won, so he has no reason to really take a shot at Russ. But it's like a small part of you knows that it is taking a shot at Russ. Like you're trying to make I get what you're doing. You're trying to make the bigger point be about Dart, trying to compliment Dart, but like, you know, it's just the common sense of it, you know. And he knows better, but sometimes just because you know better don't mean you always do better.
And I that was in no way, shape, or form anything that
it could be that he don't like Russ. He don't really care for him. So it's like I'm gonna compliment Dart, but I'm gonna take a little shot at Russ too. Let's start blood drama. You know what I mean?
was directed at Russ. So, and I might be able to see how he might perceive that, but coming off that win and watching how he played, yeah, that
liar.
That wasn't any intention at all.
Is Sean Payton full of crap?
Liar.
He's full of crap.
Here's what I hate, bro. Don't throw rocks and hide your hands, Sean Payton. If you finna throw a rock, just leave your hand out there because we already know you threw it. Don't come out here and say that in no way, shape, or form was ill-intended or meant to disparage Russell Wilson. Obviously it was. And the thing that kills me about this whole thing, T, is like Russell Wilson's biggest crime is being too nice. It's his biggest crime. Yep. His biggest sin that he's committed in the National Football League is just being too nice. And sometimes being too nice is unrelatable, so you could suggest that's his crime as well, but it's being too nice. Sean Payton robbed Russell Wilson of another 30-touchdown season. That's a gigantic mark for a quarterback. Sean Payton is the same as Russell Wilson. They both got
what did Payton say about Russ? He said after the game that they won versus the Giants that I wish the Giants would have made that quarterback switch after they played us. Like, he's complimenting Jackson Dart, like saying Jackson Dart plays so good. But at the same time, he's saying, I wish Russ would have been the starter. Because that game probably, either he just wanted to beat Russ or the game would have been easier for us. You know what I mean? Because Jackson Dart just plays so good. But either way it go, though, it's still a dumb
Russell Wilson
thing to
also got
say.
10 Pro Bowls.
Yeah, that
You know
can't
what I mean?
compliment.
Like Russ and I had a conversation earlier today. I'll keep it off the record per his request. But I will simply suggest that like Russell Wilson is rightfully hurt by these remarks. And he's hurt by these remarks because Russ didn't do nothing to Sean Payton. So why are you bad-mouthing him? Why are you lying on his name? And even what I've heard through the grapevine, when Russ was a free agent testing the quarterback market, not a free agent, excuse me, when the Broncos were moving on from Russell Wilson, and maybe he was a free agent, correct me if I'm wrong, Sean Payton was disparaging him to coaches. It's only 31 coaches around the league. They're going to ask Sean Payton, hey, why'd you move on from Russ? And Sean Payton going to undermine him. So if you're Russell Wilson
crazy.
and you ain't done nothing wrong, and here goes Sean Payton throwing dirt and throwing salt, come on, bro. Don't hide your hands, bro. That's childish to me. Don't hide your hands.
This is a touchy subject. Let me go back real quick. I should have thrown Jackson Smith and Jigba. The way he playing, I can't leave him out of there. The way he playing this year. But now, this topic. Bruh, Sean Payton. He thought Russell Wilson was sweet.
Yeah.
What I mean by that is he thought Russell was softer than baby shit. So he felt like he could say whatever and Russ is not, he ain't gonna say anything back. He thought Russ was gonna take that comment because he's taking, again, I don't know Russell Wilson.
I don't know about that. I mean, maybe he could think he's soft, and maybe he could just not really care for Russ and just want to make a negative comment about him. I don't really think that really even has much weight here. You know what I mean? Because it's like, whether he think Russ soft or not, he was involved in the decision to let Russ go. So it's like, I don't really think that matters personally.
But what you said is absolutely correct. Because he's so nice, people think he's sweet. So when he made that comment, he thought Russ was just going to take that comment and just okay, I'm gonna wear that one and I'm not gonna say anything. So then when Russell Wilson replied, it shocked Sean Payton. So now he has to come out and say, oh, I wasn't talking about Russell. Yes, you were.
If he knows more about the person of Sean Payton, this might be accurate, but I think Russ could have came at him negatively, or Russ could have took the high road and posted a Bible quote. And no matter which direction Russ would have took it, as far as responding, he could have been positive or negative. I think because he responded, Sean Payton is gonna defend himself and like be like, no, I didn't mean it like that. I don't think it's because Russ called him classless that he's defending himself. I think either way it go, like, you know, he's gonna say, I didn't mean it like that, you know. TJ Houshmandzadeh, yeah. He was the main advocate recently.
And it's okay to say you don't like him. I don't know why you don't like him, because you didn't give him the contract.
Yeah.
He was in Denver before you.
Yeah.
You benched him. You moved on.
Yeah.
It is what it is. And if you are going to talk about him to other coaches privately, that's what you want to do. But to take a shot at the man, oh, we wish we could have gone again. Like, why would you do that? That's just not cool. But when they think you sweet, they do these type of things, and they taking out Russell's kindness for weakness. That's what they doing. Now that he fired back, I'm interested to see moving forward.
He ain't gonna try him again
because of that.
Yeah, he ain't gonna try him again.
Anybody else moving forward, like I feel bad for Russell Wilson. And again, I don't know him, but just the comments that people make about him is because he's such a nice guy. You say.
I do agree with that point. I do agree. A lot of people make a bunch of negative comments on him, but it more so be about him being a nice guy and his character, and like him being is like when I see stuff about Russ on social media, especially in the black community, it'd be about the nice guy and like criticizing him for being such a nice guy. But I don't think Sean Payton made comments about Russ because he's a nice guy. I think he made comments about Russ like that's more on the football side. But I think he made comments about Russ because for some reason he don't really care for Russ, you know, or maybe in Sean Payton's eyes he thought it wasn't that big of a comment, you know. But I think it's still somewhat of common sense to know not to make that comment. Not gonna act like Russ being a dumpster fire in Denver is all his fault, but he won a dumpster fire in Denver. He had some good games in Denver, really good games. It's kind of like Russ in Denver kind of felt like Aaron Rodgers in New York. Aaron Rodgers had some good games in New York, but he didn't look good the whole season due to whatever else they got going on. And I'm assuming maybe Russ didn't look good the entirety, every single game or entirety of the season because maybe Sean Payton just didn't want him as his quarterback. Yeah, Ravens signed Carl Lawson. All right, we're gonna move on to the next